Oh,
Hello.
this is so bad. My medical custom by block.
I know, right? Alright, did you get my character code and stuff in game?
Yeah. I'm also in your
Oh, I see you.
chat thing.
Alright. It looked like that recent game might have been a good one to go over as well.
the ZVZ, the one
Yeah.
that. Okay.
That map is kind of unique for ZVZ relative to the other maps. Like, the strategies that are good is pretty different from most of the ladder pool, just because the rush is so short and the third is really far away.
Okay.
Not quite enough.
So I will be taking notes for you in an email that you'll have kind of as a take home.
Okay.
After losing one game.
Who's Juicy Boy?
I don't know. I'm gonna pass me, lady.
Got it.
So I saw from the, not sure what tool that is, but it looks like your APM is pretty high. So that'll be good scaling into GM. Mainly, there's very little difference between master level APM and GM level. It's about filling in knowledge of what those actions should be in the ideal sense. So Frozen Temple, ZVZ, just kind of thinking about the matchup. The natural is really close to you. The third is really far away. So big Ling Bane attacks end up being quite good. Are you opening third?
Oh, I did 1312,
Okay.
and then I only put 2 drones in gas by accident.
I don't know what it is. Use
It looked like it kind of regressed into a normal macro game after though, so.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just didn't feel like playing a ZVZ. That's why 1312.
One thing you can do on this map, just as a general timing that's very strong, is you open hatch gas pool, so 17 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool, 19 overlord. And then when you send your drone to your natural to build your hatch, you send another drone to scout and see what their opening build is. So you'll be safe against cheese, and you can decide if you want to go Bane Nest first or Ling Speed first.
Okay.
That's optional, you don't have to do that.
So drone scout when I'm at 17 hatch.
Yeah, I like doing it on this map just because the rush is so short and it doesn't cost you that much to know exactly what they're doing. So we'll think about the priorities of your targeting if you're going for an attack in ZVZ. One thing that you want to kind of check in on is what they have in their main. So if you're going 13-12, I would say if you're pulling off of gas to just go pure Ling, your objective is to kill the hatch, to get a larva lead, and then take your own hatch. If you're going 13-12 with Bane, your objective is to kill the motherfucker as soon as possible. So you want to be here, on top of their drones. Because there's a window before the spine is done, before the queen is done, where it's your Lings plus Banes against their Lings. And you're really, really strong there. So that window basically closes once the spine and queen finish, and then they can gradually use their larva advantage to push you away from the natural.
Okay. So Bane Nest, kill him
By block.
off gas, kill the hatch.
Yeah, pulling off of gas as a strategy is pretty good. I've actually died to it a lot, just because it's tough to tell if the opponent is going for 13-12 with Banes or with just pure Ling. So
Yeah.
a lot of times the defender doesn't know exactly how to respond. And you could mix it up too, like if you face this opponent again, you could go 13-12 again and then pull off of gas and expand behind it. But
Okay.
here, it looks like you're in a pretty good position. You dealt quite a bit of damage. I would say this would be an excellent point to stop making Lings. And
I
to
know.
start
Yeah.
making again.
Yeah. I accidentally held Z again.
And then one thing to think about, I'll put this in the notes. If you successfully deal damage with Ling Bane, but they stabilize with like Spine Queen Ling Roach, you would want to think about how you want to spend your next gas in something other than Bane, because Bane isn't effective against what they have to defend with. If they're going Roach, you could go for ranged attack and just take an upgrade lead in a roach game. Or you could go for Carapace, and you could go Roach Ling, and your Roaches and Lings are both kind of upgraded, and you could leverage that larva by taking a faster third later on. So Evo Chamber is a good transition from successful pressure.
Okay.
ZVZ, since it's a mirror matchup and you have all the same units, it's about understanding exactly what your edges are against the opponent. So this opponent has the edge of roach count. They have more roaches than you. It's fairly even on drones. You have one more, which isn't much of an edge. But they have a larva lead too, by virtue of having 2 hatches up for longer than you.
Yeah.
Looks like you are getting an Evo. I saw in the game you did go for Muta. Basically with Muta, you would want to think about how long you can deny the third with these speed links, just keeping them alive with that sole purpose of knowing when they move out, which you're doing a good job of, and then denying the third. But if they go for a roach timing, usually they won't have full 2-base saturation. Usually it'll be something like 2 or 3 gases. So if you go for 4 gases, you're going to have the drone edge. And if you take too many edges, you die. So I saw in your own analysis you were like, maybe I shouldn't have taken the third. That's correct. By taking the third and taking an Evo Chamber upgrade and taking Muta and taking a drone lead, that was too much.
Yeah. Because like I was poking with the links to see what he was making with the larva, and it was just drones. So I'm like, okay, so I just made drones as well. And then I stopped, and then I noticed he was coming, so I mass lings with +1 melee.
One benchmark around 340 to 4 minutes. You can drop a safety roach warren. This game is a little bit non-standard because you cheese the opening. So you could say when you have or 2 base mineral, 2 gas would be the benchmark. Roaches are more efficient at defending roach timings than Ling Bane and Spines. So you don't have to stay roach for the whole game, like you can still go into Muta, but you could just make some slow roaches to defend really cleanly.
Okay. I generally don't go roach in ZVZ. So, but I can try it out.
Yeah, you can think of it like as a stepping stone option, rather than that you have to necessarily outmuscle them roach versus roach. Yeah, so like we said, the roach timing, it was less than 4 gases, it was 2 gases with no third.
Okay.
Cool. Well, you're effectively dead here, so I think we can probably move on. That was what we needed. It's good to fight for a long time, but it becomes less and less useful for analysis. Okay, next.
I was testing out the replays, and I could watch it with other people, even though it was before Tuesday. So hopefully. And I played in the tournament on StarCraft and played against Cuddle Bear the first round, and almost won. So
he's strong.
Yeah. It's like he was like rank 7. I was like, oh god. And he was the only GM. Actually, he said Polt was on the other side, but I think Polt was using another account, like a master's account. But you have the replays I sent you.
What's happening here?
If they're from the previous match, it might not let me load them. I'll try.
Do you tell what's that in the water? Is it a bug?
Zerg units are bugs.
GG. I think it's a bug. It's not supposed to happen.
So let's test. Here's another ZPC. Muta is much better on Dusk Towers than it is on Frozen Temple, so that's nice.
I currently have Invader, Alrina, and Frost vetoed.
Oh. The Invaders are really good Muta map for horizontal spawn.
Yeah. It's just I keep dying to Protoss on that map.
But a lot of really
How do you play? I guess we'll get to some ZDP eventually. Yeah, it won't
Yeah.
let me. Actually, you're party leader. Can you pass me?
Oh.
I might be able to load this.
and
Holy shit, it works.
thank you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's why I tested it out the other day.
Todd was kind of one in a row. Next.
I've faced this opponent quite a few times.
This guy?
Yeah. Mm.
Faced you once, but that was like beginning of the season.
Mhm. That's a fun thing you can do as you get higher and higher on the ladder, is the number of players gets lower, so you can kind of say to your Zerg big brothers, do you have any games against this person? Oh yeah, you beat them doing this. Okay, thanks.
I always do the same opener. It's always 17, 17, 17.
17, 18, 17 is a little bit more effective because you don't have any larva downtime. So just take more
Okay.
gas at 18.
Okay.
So this is the first hiccup. One thing that you can look really closely at when you're doing your own analysis, and I'll put this in the notes, is notice every time you have larva that's unspent and think about how that should be spent ideally. So that's one of the most important differences between Master and GM, is in the early game having 0 larva downtime. It's a very like small and subtle and quiet improvement in your play, but if you have that spent consistently, whether it's lings or drones, it's easier to keep those advantages going.
Okay.
So I would
I don't
say
know-
here
I don't know
it
why.
would be drones.
Yeah.
If you see the second overlord cross the mid-map like at the same time as yours, you
Yeah.
can just keep droning and then make 4 lings whenever your ling speed is at 50%. It's usually a pretty easy way to take an advantage of drones. So he's playing very defensively. Opener. So did you see that? You saw
Yeah,
the...
yeah. Yeah. I saw queens and lings at the ramp. So I knew it was like a early 2-base, like Muta or something. Or I just suspected 2-base.
Mhm. So normally, my reaction to this would be, my opponent is playing hyper defensive on 2 bases. I want to take the edge of a 3rd base and make about 8 lings to make sure I deny their 3rd base when it gets established. And then one thing that fits really well into your plan of CVZ wanting to go for mutas is getting a lair at a pretty early time and going for an overseer scout. So pay close
Okay.
attention to larva spending. Drone if opponent has normal second overlord timing. Mm, 4 lings when ling speed is 50%. Take edge of 3rd base versus defensive opponent. And take lair if you lack information. And then I would remind you the 340 to 4 minute roach warren timing.
It's very nice.
Even if you plan to go for muta, like we said,
Our match is
sometimes they'll like conceal information with the double queen ling, and then they'll go like 2 gases of a huge roach attack. And if you see that, all of a sudden, holy shit, my spire isn't done. I have ling speed, but lings won't hold this. You're fucked. So just getting
Okay.
that roach warren down, make some roaches, and then when your spire is done, make mutas.
Okay. I don't know why I made that gas. I actually don't remember what happened in this game.
Cool. So I would say the work you did with the lings was really good. If all of these lings, we could imagine if they were drones,
Yeah.
you would be like
Yeah.
stupidly far ahead.
Yeah.
And you could probably like pause, manner pause until the opponent to leave and all that.
I don't know why I made lings. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe I was preparing for something. Yeah, I probably thought, yeah, mass roaches.
Maybe it was Australia server and you just held down the button too long.
Delay. Yeah, because I saw, yeah, that's the reason why. That's why I got +1 attack again. I'm still making lings. Oh my goodness.
Oh, another benchmark we can give you. If you kill opponent third, we'll just say if the opponent is on 3 hatches, but later than yours, you can safely drone 2 base, we'll say 2.5 base, with 4 gas. So you could have made about 8 drones here at your third, and then continued your lane production and very safely been ahead into the muta game. There's that same theme of you can only take so many edges before you die. In this game, you could have taken a few more edges, where the previous game you typically might. Because the lings are nice, but like for their cost, they're trading kind of inefficiently against the roaches. Alright, last muta time. So what's your planned transition from muta? You get the muta flock and then what?
I think I went lurkers.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did go lurkers this game. Because if I see him go like heavy roach hydra like that, I think that's actually no. What did I do? Speed? Yeah, I did speed banes.
Bane speed is better, so that's
Yeah.
good. So keep the Evo chamber up because running Bane speed. If you want to be cheeky, you can go Burrow. There are some hilarious moments of winning CVZ with Burrowed Banes against Hydra.
Yeah, they probably won't bring an overseer with them. Actually, I rarely see any Zergs bring overseer. Oh goodness.
So, one thing to bear in mind too, whenever you're taking a fight, know what your follow-up is going to be.
Where is it?
So take a look at your bank. You can very easily afford an infestation pit. You probably could have made that a little bit earlier, and then started a hive, and you could be working toward Ultra during this fight, and it wouldn't really influence the outcome. You can still beat this army even as you tech into Ultra. Link Bane Muta into Ultra is a very good strategy on this map. And did you take
Yeah, this is where I lost. I feel.
Yeah, the balance of Banes to Mutas, you probably could have made more Mutas. So if you're against an opponent who's trying to push you with Hydra, what you can do is take either attack or armor, just some Spire upgrade to make your Muta stronger, and then as the army moves out, you want to position your mutas here and kill all the reinforcement units. It really gives them a bad time and allows you to get ready with your Ling Bang. So we'll go back to that procedure real quick and just kind of talk through a more ideal way to spend that.
So position the mutas where? I didn't see.
At their attack lane, just kind of behind their main piece of iron.
Oh, okay.
They'll attack forward, and then they'll usually be rallying more units. You can kill all of those rallied units with your muta block. So
Oh, I
this
see.
Ling business. Cool. Let's see, how many mutas do you have?
What's his leg?
I have 9.
Against someone who's trying to go for Hydra, I like going up to around 15 and then spending gas into into Baneling. So look at your Banes right here. You're making 24. You don't need to make them right now. Like you would think of Banes as soon as you make them, you would want to get some value from them. You could make a Mutaflock earlier. Like imagine all those Banes spent into Muta. That's quite a few. And then you can use those mutas to chop the reinforcement lane. So like right here, you realize the push is happening. You can't beat that big group of Hydras, but you can beat these 2 Hydras and all the new units that are coming across the map.
Yeah. Okay. And I lost a bunch here.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Cool.
Okay.
So I think we got most of what we needed from this one. You said you like mostly die to this roach attack.
Yeah. And I sometimes died to like 2 base muta randomly. I don't know why. I think some of the replays I've sent were that. Yeah, the main struggle is Protoss because like I barely run into them on ladder, and I don't know, it's very I don't know how to deal with them sometimes.
Yeah, so against this push, imagine having Ultra. It would be the easiest win of all time.
Yeah.
Cool. So for Green Muta, CVZ, take infestation kit quickly, the Hive. Get Ultra versus ground.
Looks like it's called the sports screen is.
And I'll get another replay. There's the CBT. Oh shit, Proxy DT on Prion. This will be fun.
Oh man, I saw it coming too, but I still died.
That motherfucker.
I barely play against that too.
Yep, and that it always seems to happen when you haven't been DT'd in a long time, and you're like, I probably don't need the spore.
Dead.
So this is kind of a fun scenario where if they proxy tech, you won't be guaranteed to scout what it is, but you can kind of raise your suspicion by scouting them with lings and overlords and being like, where the hell are they spending their gas?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh god, it's a proxy, and then a little too late. What?
I was just making fun of him saying, by the way. So first overlord. very astutely sees. Oh, is there a base? Did you see the base? There's no base.
Yeah. I went in there. I was like,
Okay, boom. One thing that's a fact for ZVP and Legacy of the Void. The very strongest one base all in is Mass Adept, Wargate Adept, into DT. There isn't really another one that's as good as this. And making links, you're not going to be able to break this location very effectively. What you can do is lay a creep tomb right here, and then go Evo spine, and wall this off. And then put
Okay.
a spore behind it. That's the most effective defense for this.
oh, okay. You block off that ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
Well, it sucks now. It's not in the ladder pool.
Yeah, there is a warp prison though, so
Yeah.
rip.
So I saw this with my link drops. I was like,
So this is why 4-minute spores are a thing. Oh, you unpowered the gateways. What a god. Holy shit.
yeah.
4-minute spores. Massing queens is good as you float minerals. Versus an all-in. Roachborn is good. You can also just go bananas on the static and do a spore and a spine in each worker line. It's pretty much
Yeah.
worth. You also deny some surface area on the spore, because often with the warp prism, they'll drop the DTs onto the spore and just focus that down, and then you're fucked.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I built them too late. I built them pretty much when he was at the base. Or actually, I didn't. I just saw them. Yeah, it was just like, yep.
Dusk Tower CDP.
How do you like the new maps?
Well, I played on them back when I was in Masters, and they were pretty cool. It's a... Oh god. Widow Mine drops on King Sejong Station. Fuck. I played a couple games.
I was playing a ZVZ with my friend, and I didn't know where the pathing was, and I lost. I was really confused. I was like, where are these units coming from? So I had no idea. I only played it once, though. This one. I played this guy a couple times on ladder. I don't know why I took the front base, but
You should do that. It advances
Yeah.
your creep. Yeah, some people in stream will be like, Neuro, why do you take the forward natural? And be like, well, it's because I'm a big dick player. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. The most half-assed cannon rush fake of all time.
yeah, I had no idea what that was for. Maybe to zone me out or something, but I don't really know the build order for 3-hash before pull. I just kind of wing it.
Holy shit, the spore timing. Was this like right after you got DT'd?
I don't remember. Oh, because I saw a Stargate. I scouted it with my links.
Yeah, you can still...
I poked up the ramp, and then I built the spore in each base.
4-minute spores. Your forward expo. You could do the back one at 4:15. So, kind of looking at the minimap of your bases, this is a forward base, this is a forward base. This back one is your safest base, so you would make the spore there last. That's one of the finer details getting master to GM, is you just squeeze a little bit more mineral out if you delay the spores a little bit.
When did I take it? I don't. My spores.
Like 3 minutes. Way too early.
Yeah.
Oh, now we get to talk about Phoenix procedure. So, queens, click them onto the spore, and then put them on hold position.
Okay.
So versus Phoenix. Hold position queens. Next to spores. Rally overlords. And drones to the nearest spore. So you won't be transferring stuff between your bases once the Phoenixes get into play.
Oh man.
And
Oh, okay.
spore.
I always still do transfer.
Yeah, they'll punish you harder and harder for that as they get better and better. So, kind of being aware of the Phoenix count. If it's fairly low, it doesn't really change the game that much, but if it gets high, like above 5, just go Hydro Bang and you can pretty much always just kill them.
Spore placements. Where should I normally put them?
So, this is too many. Like at this base, your left spore is basically correct, and the one that's building now is basically correct. Cut the other one, the top right one. You don't need that.
Okay.
At your main, the lower 2 are correct, the upper one cut that. And then here, cut the one that's on the front side of the hatchery, like top right. You should have 2 per base. And if you see, like the Phoenixes are on your left side, grab a 4th. You have the money for it, it establishes creep. Phoenixes have no way of denying a base, so.
Okay.
Overseer's cut is good. You see the most basic shit. The triple robo, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap! Like,
You can play mutas against this if you like.
I felt really behind. I didn't know what to do from here.
Yeah, if your 4th was earlier, you would have more larvae and you could just make more stuff.
Yeah.
So you're taking range.
Oh yeah, I went Ling Hydra.
If you go Ling Hydra, you would want to make the Hydras as your first main unit cycle. One thing to add into that process is click each hatch and rally the non-drone units to the mineral line. So that way you can just press your hatchery key, your larva key, and then hold down the Hydra button, and the Hydras will naturally just sit between your spores and not move out until you have enough to beat the Phoenixes. They only made 5, but if you have like 2 Hydras that run between a base, they can kill those. So you basically want to create an overwhelming number of Hydras, and then move out and push the Phoenixes away all at once, and then move out and attack. And you send links behind the Hydras because they're faster, and then you can morph Banes and then do a timing.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, we went mass carriers.
After going triple robo, what a clown.
Yeah, that's why I was really confused this game. I was like, okay, I was expecting a lot of immortals, but then carriers came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think he can actually defend this 4th if you just attacked him right now.
Yeah, I probably should have. But then 2 carriers.
Do you use Nidus at all versus Protoss?
No. I remember you asking me that when we were doing the Phantom mode.
Yeah. So, there's one universal truth of NA players, whether they're in Master or GM, is that most people don't use camera location hotkeys, and they have no sense of how to actually divide their forces versus Nidus. So, imagine for a moment that you took your 4th base on time, you had a stronger army a little bit earlier. When they take this 4th, you have your main army here, and you have like 5 or 6 roaches in a Nidus. You send an overseer around, and then to this back base. You Nidus the back base and push the fourth at the same time. So against Protoss, think about a two-prong attack. Either drop or Nidus while pushing fourth.
Should I build a safety roach horn in the beginning?
You don't have to, so you could like put 5 Hydras and 8 Lings into the base as well. Just like partitioning off maybe an eighth of your full army strength, and it'll give them a pretty bad time.
Okay.
Because one of the things about micro is if you build a main army and the opponent builds a main army, both players get to direct their full attention to one fight, and they're less likely to make mistakes. Whereas if you hassle them somewhere else, often they won't have their attention at the main fight, and you can rush into them when they're not prepared for it. And Protoss.
Yep. I forgot who told me. Someone said if they're going mass carrier, mass hydra. I was like, what? So then I tried it, and it didn't really work.
Ideally, you would go Queen Hydra. So, versus mass carrier, double Evo, 2/2, Queen Hydra. Max out. I did a video on that actually. Okay, next. Ruins of Endion, ZVZ. We haven't looked through ZVT yet either.
I can show you the Cuddle Bear one too after, if you want.
Cool.
Vibe says mass corruptor with armor upgrades for mass carrier.
That works. Basically, you have to choose whether you want to approach the carrier problem with Spire or with Queen Hydra. Both avenues are potentially viable. But you can't really tech into both that effectively, just because it costs too much money.
Oh, I remember this game.
Got thrown.
I won't forget his name every time I see it, because he trolled me. He like knew my full name. It was really weird.
Yeah, that's always unsettling. I've had some opponents do that. Hello, Mr. Phil Singer. I'm like, what the fuck?
And he just stopped talking. I was like, wow, okay.
So you went for...
Same build I do. 17, 17, 17. Okay. 17 hatch, 17 gas, 17 pool.
Okay, so right here, your third overlord just popped, and you saw that attach first, so this is where you spend your larva immediately into drones.
Okay.
And then you can delay those links until 50% link speed.
Okay.
Just drones. That wing at the third. So yeah. Second gas. Oh god. Okay.
Yeah. This is where I died. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I cycled drones.
I know these feels. Okay, let's go up to the ZVZ section. And
Yeah, I did so much damage. I was like, oh, okay.
When dealing Wing Bane aggression and dealing damage, really, let's just delete dealing damage. When dealing Wing Bane aggression, make 4 lanes unbound from army, at home to more safety banes. Because often, as happened this game, you make Ling Bane, you move across the map, you fuck them, they take big damage, and they spend all of that economy that they had previously into lanes. And you're like, sweet, I'm super ahead. But then suddenly you realize, oh god, there are a bunch of lings there. I have drones. Fucked. But if you had those 4 banes, then this would be super easy to hold.
Yeah. I was like, oh my.
And fortunately, you do not use F2, so well, it's pretty easy.
I never knew about that F2 hotkey. Or the alt. Yeah.
This asshole.
He still takes a third, but he doesn't have any drones in his mat. And I was like, so I got really confused.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Oh my god. Okay, you're dead. It's okay. I've been there several times.
Where's Neuro? He's inside my computer.
Beep boop. Yeah, I use French voices for StarCraft and Japanese voices for Overwatch. Hey.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, I didn't know you can change the voices in Overwatch.
You have to do it in the Battle.net client. It's not in-game.
Oh.
So you like click Overwatch in the Battle.net client, and then there's a little cog, and you click Game Settings.
Okay.
You can change it. There's no Japanese for StarCraft, which is poopy.
That's weird. Yeah.
I feel like I'm playing in an anime when I play Overwatch in Japanese. It's awesome.
Are you sure he's not under your desk? I don't know. I don't see him.
Do you hear blowjob sounds? No. That's what I thought.
Well, that's what you would do if you were under a desk.
I mean, why would anyone be under a desk? It's not for that reason.
What's this game? I don't remember any.
Did you watch Neuro play in DreamHack Tour?
I don't think so.
So, remember what we talked about with this map where the rush is very short?
Yeah.
And the third is really far away? So, like, a slow roach timing is really strong. Like, it doesn't have to be a big roach timing, but imagine you went 17 hatch, 17 pool, and then like an 18 gas. Instead of taking link speed, you just drop a roach warren, which keeps you safe against mass reaper. And then when your roach warren finishes, you make 7 roaches, and you send it to the opponent, and they're just fucked up. Like, it's really annoying for Terran to deal with, because usually it hits right when they have a bunch of Hellions out, and it's like the funniest thing in the world. When they drive across the map, they have like 4 Hellions and a Reaper, and then on the other side of the grass is 7 roaches, and they're like, fuck! And they have to run home, and they're very scared, and you can go into lair for Muta.
Or
whatever
Hellions
you
in
want.
paper. Most annoying thing ever. Killing my creep tumor.
Yeah. But yeah, it would help you spend this gas too, because you have like $1 billion.
Yeah. I watched Higgs' YouTube video of macroing, like mineral and gas efficiency. That helped me a lot. I watched that and I looked at my replays. I'm like, yeah, I take gas so early and I don't tech to anything, or I tech to something, don't even use it. Which is like what happened this game. So I opted out to delay gas a little bit or not take as much gas. Oh, I remember this game.
Okay, so you're in a pretty reasonable position right now. I would even say that you're... Oh no. Oh god.
Party en
Don't do this.
The two gases.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought when I watched the replay, I was like, "Fuck, why
know
did I
the-
do that?"
I know these feels too. Okay, we'll do a ZBT section. So consider you can try the opener if you want. 17 natch, 18 pool, 18 gas, roach warren, 7 roaches. Continue droning into whatever you want. So if you're in this case versus 2 base marine D mine whatever, kind of like in CVZ, go for 3 base mineral, 4 gas. You don't want to take too many gases, and you want to be mostly linked because their main unit, the marine, counters the muta. So you don't really want the muta to be the main idea. You want the muta to be a way to deal with the medivacs over time and to prevent them from dropping you in multiple spots. But Ling Bane is going to be the more effective, like, fighting composition. So maybe you could sneak 5 gases, but notice you have 800 gas right now. If you have tons of gas, you don't need to take more gas. Taking gases at this time would be really good if you saw them go for like an early 4th or something.
reprise de la partie.
It doesn't even have a fire. And I saw that, and I was like,
So for spore placement, I really like just making 1 spore per base against Terran on this map.
En pause.
1 right where they just dropped, 1 here, and then 1 here. Just like the corners of your base, basically.
Reprise de la
Okay.
partie.
And that's a 5-minute spore timing.
okay.
It helps against liberators and mine drops and all kinds of ridiculous shenanigans.
Why do I have 34 workers? Oh, never mind.
One thing to do as well, if Muta's not in game yet, keep 8 wings, I'll say 8, 16, in main, unbound from army, then versus drop. It's very rare that a big push is decided by 8 to 16 lings. It's not rare to lose your whole main mineral line to 1 drop as they kind of posture or push outside your base. So you can kind of like maybe even just bind those links to your muta hotkey until your mutas are out, and then add them to the army, and then have the mutas replace those units.
Reprise de
Okay.
la partie.
Oh yeah, okay, that's easy. When I inject, I have a habit of using scrolling with my mouse. 'Cause I have my sensitivity at 100.
Your DPI?
No, like when you scroll with the mouse, like when you put your mouse on the edge of the monitor or something, at the very end of the screen, like it scrolls for you. Yeah, I have that like max. Because sometimes I don't want to hit F1, it's too far, so then I just scroll to each base and inject.
If you don't like the F keys, have you tried using spacebar?
Yes, and then like with hotkeying the queens. Yeah, I tried that, and then it was really weird because I didn't like it. I didn't like it when the queens just wander off.
Yeah. You can do it without hotkeying your queens, just clicking them.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I should try that actually.
Oh, nice chance going for that fabled and ancient 10-minute third base. The one told about in the storybooks.
Yeah, then I just died to this, just 2 base.
Yeah.
Because of that Widow Mine.
I've died to that too.
Is it over?
Okay, do you have the Cuddle Bear? Oops.
I don't know if I. Oh, yeah. It was on Frozen. This is a really close game. I was really surprised.
We'll call that a moral victory then. If you feel like the opponent is heavily favored, but you still give them a really bad time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he said I played really well.
So this is a tactic that a lot of players leverage. It's kind of dirty, but opponent complimenting you, giving commentary,
Really?
is often a distraction, yes. So the first Reaper that comes into your base, it's a pretty important micro event. Like, did you lose a unit? Yeah, you lost a drone.
I lost one drone. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of shitty, but a lot of times they'll be like, wow, you're smarter than other Zergs, and they'll like say like cheeky shit like that, which on the merits of the words it seems like, oh, they're just being nice and whatever. No, they're just trying to fuck you. So your
Wow.
opponent,
Wow.
your opponent is your enemy. Don't trust them.
Never trust a Terran. Just being nice. Yeah, this is I played this way this time after watching Pig's video. I get more queens, and then I take 2 gases for like speed, and then like upgrade them failingness or something.
When you float minerals like this, going double Evo Roach Warren is pretty good too,
Okay.
just for safety. Baneness is fine too. It seems like you favor Bane over Roach.
Yeah, I really like needling Bane.
You can take your 4th at a pretty early time too, like even if you're against 2 base bio. It's just a source of larvae that you are taking it, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was floating, so I was like, I'll just take a 4th.
Oh no! Oh yeah? I'll kill myself on the gases! Okay,
Well,
so
okay.
you have flare, spire, upgrades.
Weird.
You're making lings.
This loading time.
One thing you can do, like, at this moment, oh fuck. At this moment, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what the heck?
Inject with this queen, hotkey the queen with your army. Inject with this queen, hotkey your army, and then make queens at all your bases. Because you're basically in like crisis emergency, we need to survive mode. And queens are pretty sturdy, and they can help you clean up the medivacs before the mutas are ready.
I didn't kill that tank. I was like, ah.
At least you didn't fill the gases. That's smart.
Kill the what?
At least you didn't fill the gases. That would have
Yeah.
been bad. Mass Queen.
Yeah.
You have $1 million Mass Queen.
Yeah. I was just so focused on that tank.
Yeah.
I really hate tanks on that side.
Oh, is that a counterattack?
Yeah.
Oh, what a god. Holy shit. Oh no, just go here. Just go here.
I do. Actually, yeah, I go up first, and then I go there. And then he's killing my 3rd at the same time.
Okay, so when counterattacking, Terran, send wings across the map, rebind army as Bane, Overseer, Queen, or whatever you have. So you want your Banes for defense to defend against this garbage, and then wings to attack to kill this undefended location. In general, hyper-aggressive opponents cut corners in defense. Cuddle Bear is a supreme example of this principle. He will pretty much always be trying to put the action on your side of the map and cut any bunker, defensive turret, defensive mine expenditures possible.
Reprise de la partie.
In poker, we lovingly refer to these players as aggro donkeys. StarCraft has similar sort of things. This lane went by. Beautiful.
Yeah, I had double the workers and stuff, and I had so much money floating, and it just sucked.
Queens. Upgrades. I know these feels though. It's a very like.
Oh yeah, I didn't take really many upgrades. Wow. I guess I was just so focused.
Yeah, it's an exciting thing when you're like, wow, this is a high GM opponent, and I'm actually kind of winning. Is this real?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I got too excited.
Ultra.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to go ultra, but I didn't have an infestation pit. I built it too late. For a second, I thought he was building a planetary.
So some expenditures. One supply blocked. Overspeed. Burrow. Infestation pit. Upgrades. Overseers. Like, this is a really good point to just do all of those like small upgrades that research pretty fast that just make your army more dangerous for Terran. So you can afford Burrow, you could potentially make some mutas. I feel like it's not that great against Mass Marine Mine. But
Yeah.
Overlord speed increases the survivability of your Overseers. It's also just good for getting information and spreading them around the map. Burrow on this map is like god tier. Just put 2 Banes here, 2 Banes there, 2 Banes there.
Yeah.
They're
That'd be
less
awesome.
likely to scan if there's not creep at a point. So
Yeah.
thinking about where you can put Banes, like, look at this army. 2 Burrow
This
Banes
is-
right here. You win
Yeah.
the game.
Reprise de la partie.
Okay. And I lose every single one. And this is where I completely lost. It's always this. I don't know why I don't micro. I just attack. Yep.
What a battle.
I'm sending one drones. My goodness. Goodness. Yeah, my infestation. I probably could have hive. And then we chat again in the end.
GG side.
I posted. I made a. I was streaming this, and then I made a VOD, and I put it on All Things Zerg, and he saw it, and then he complimented me again. I'm like, oh. He said that I played better than Pult, and I was like, what? And then he said, I played really well. as a Master Zerg. It's like, ha, best compliment ever. His advice was, don't get your third killed. I was like, okay.
I will shoot you the notes. Boom.
Oh,
That homework in the email.
Oh, it's an email.
Yep. A little bit easier to read than Skype messages. Well, cool, dude. Seems like you have pretty good grasp. A lot of this stuff will get you much closer to GM.